What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Mark here with the Better Mark. Let's break down the May 18th, Saturday Major League Baseball card. All right, a lot of games coming to you guys. A little bit of weather of concern. We're going to get into each and every game, look at the matchups. Got to be honest with you, this is not a card that I favor. So we had to get a little creative. I had to dive into some different markets. I'm going to try to explain some more things today in my thought process outside of just picking a side or a total, because this is definitely one where there weren't too many advantages, too many edges that I could see. Nothing jumped off the page, but I am going to give you guys a few best bets, and we're going to get a little creative as well. So hopefully we get it done in cash. Let's recap yesterday. I went 2-1 with the picks. All right. And for those of you that are wondering, I did not bet the Milwaukee side. I just took the total in that one. I told you that was a lean. So just full transparency with that. Also, we did lose that parlay. I'm going to try to start giving you guys a parlay of the day. Not necessarily reflecting that I'm going to be betting it, but just, because that's not how I look to substantiate my bankroll over the long haul. But for your guys' fun and entertainment, a lot of people do like that and they want to see it. So I am going to give you guys a parlay of the day quite often. And today we'll do that because, like I said, we had to get a little creative. Yesterday, we lost the Braves. That was a barn burner, losing 3-1. Can't believe they only got one run against the Padres. And, there was a subscriber left a comment, and totally right. Every time it seems to be that way with a few teams this year that you bet against them and they win, and you bet on them and they let you down as well. The Padres are in that category. For me, the Marlins, they're also in that category, and a couple other teams, I think. But just got to remember, though, that is simple mind tricks, okay? That's not how it works. There's no superstitions with betting. And quite frankly, you got to just keep it 100 and let all those distractions and all that noise just out the wayside, because it will cloud your judgment and make you subjective when it comes down to just looking at games at face value. So let's get into the picks. Enough of me talking. Let's get into the first game. We have on the card the White Sox and Yankees. We look at this, and this is a huge money line. One we're going to stay away. Louis Gill on the bump going against Brad Keller. Yankees bats have woken up. There's no denying that, and that's kind of what we're seeing today, where we're going to be backing the Yankees, but not at a money line price. Okay, if you want to dive into the run line at -129, I'm completely on board with that, and that's kind of where I'm going to be headed. That will be a official play that I'll be giving you guys here on the channel. Okay. But also, we will be having them in that money line parlay towards the end. So a little sneak peek of what's going to happen. Okay. Next thing is we are going to go into the Cubs and Pirates. Okay. So Shota Umanga pitching for the Cubbies. All right. Going against Bailey Falter. We look at what happened yesterday, right? The Pirates completely blanked the Cubs. And I think this is one where we're going to have to get on the better side of it, because we are going to zig a little bit because, in my opinion, I don't think that they get to Umanga. I think that the Pirates are playing some interesting baseball, but it's something where we got to keep it perspective. We look for teams, especially when you have that better team, right? Such as the Cubs have a bad offensive output. This is something where we look at them today. 5-0, Umanga on the mound, sub-1 ERA. I think this is something where you could see some value taking the Pirates, especially winning 2 of the last 3. But if there was ever a time where the Cubs were going to fire back and not lose 3 in a row to the same team, it would be against the Pirates with their ace going on the bump. So we're going to back them, not necessarily in the way that you guys are looking at. We are going to take the Cubs in the money line. I also thought about taking the Shota Umanga over out, but quite frankly, and even the first 5, but quite frankly, I'm not looking to get on board with that. It's too steep of a price. I'll show you guys what I'm talking about right here. This is something where we look into oddsjam, and you can see the player outs. I mean, they have this one right on the money, 18.5. That's 6 1/3 basically, or so he'd have to go to cover that bet. And if you look at his stat line, it's kind of right on the money. So that's the first thing that I wanted to do in this game, was bet that. Not seeing that as an option. Okay, and then you can even dive into that first half money line, and you can look at it. There's no real clear advantage. It's actually worse money line because it takes the bullpen out of the equation. So we're going to stay away from this game, but we are going to put the Cubs in a money line parlay. Okay, back into the odds jam. Let's look at Tampa and Toronto. Eflin and Gossman, Tampa, they threw a really good game yesterday. We look at this matchup. I would probably lean towards taking the Rays again, but something where I told you guys these are two of the hardest teams for me to handicap on the seasons thus far, and for me, it's quite a coin flip. Just being honest, okay. This is a dead coin flip game, and I try not to bet coin flip games, so we're gonna stay away from this one as well. Next game on the card is the Orioles and Mariners. Okay, this is one where we don't have a pitching matchup set yet for the Orioles. So if you guys are watching this video a little bit later in the day, it's probably one where you're going to see a little update, and you might have this information by the time you go make your bet. And the number may have moved. Okay, so I've tried to find out who they're pitching, and it's something where I have not yet seen that. And unfortunately, it is what it is. So we're looking to, let me read this article a little bit. Okay, so Corbin Burns is slated to pitch, but that doesn't make any sense because you can see right now, if we look at the odds, that's what I just put up on a website. I don't think he's going because we're seeing Corbin Burns at a minus 110 price. Pitcher still to be announced. So I wonder what's going on with that. We'll try to do some more research, but I am going to be taking Baltimore on the run line, or I'm sorry, on the money line at a minus 110 price. If we do get some favorable news coming out of the pitching market, then that's also going to increase our value. But sometimes I like to dive on these bets before they become more clear, so that way you get in front of the number. But we will be taking the minus 110 with the Orioles at home. I think this is something where they're going to have no problem feasting off Castillo. It's just how I view the Orioles, right? Winning, I think they won 9-2 yesterday. Look for them to keep the bats alive for sure. Okay, so that's kind of how I'm playing this one. I know they had a big first inning, and it wasn't, putting up crooked numbers like multiple times, but they had two big innings in yesterday's game. That was all that was needed. And Seattle kind of struggled to score some runs as well. I mean, I know both teams had double-digit hits almost, but it's something where I think they're going to get to Castillo. That's kind of how I view it. So look for this to be possibly a higher scoring game and, lean towards the Orioles. So I'm going to bet them at that basically flat, even price. Okay. Next game, the Rockies and the Giants. Staying away from this one. I would probably take the Rockies right now, plus 1.5 on the run line at a minus 130 price. They've been playing some good baseball. You can't deny that. And Kyle Harrison gets it done from a win column standpoint, but the Giants, for all accounts, they could come out here tonight and put up a goose egg in the run column. It's been kind of just how I look at them. Very favorable if you bet on the Rockies this year a little bit. I think that them with the Nationals and can't remember the other team, but they've been pretty good on the as like the bad record cover team, I should say. So that's kind of where I'm at with that one, but no official play. All right. Next game is Luis Severino going against Braxton Garrett. I don't understand this number, okay? You're going to have to help me out with this one. This is one where I'm purposely not betting it because at a minus 125 price, even a Mets run line at a minus 1, you can find even money basically. I don't understand why this number is so close. The game's in Miami. Miami beat them. I don't get it. Braxton Garrett had a horrible first outing that he's recorded, and I just for the life of me I don't understand this handicap. Miami, I know they put up 13 hits yesterday. We look at what actually went down in that game. The Mets threw a bad pitcher, simply put, right? And then they got to a little bit of the bullpen, and we look into the Marlins, and they threw some arms. Okay, Luzardo went 6, and then their relievers went 1 inning respectively. A lot of those guys will be able to bounce back. But what we're looking into is Severino. I think this is a better play. I don't understand the Mets on this one, especially off a loss. We can look into a little bit more deeper why, but I just, for the life of me, I can't understand why the Mets are not favored in this game at a higher clip. So I'm going to stay away purposely. I think it's a little fishy, but I came very close to putting the Mets in the first 5 even on my card. All right, so that's where we're at with that one. Let's get into the Nationals-Phillies. Okay, this is another game where the Phillies have been like basically the hottest team in baseball. Christopher Sanchez hosting Mackenzie Gore. I'm going to stay away from it. Lefty on lefty. I just think that I know that the Nationals are that team, and that's kind of where we're going with this. I'm going to stay away from betting for or against the Nationals. I know yesterday we got it done from a money line standpoint, but that was a desperation win needed by the Phillies with their ace going. So for this game, quite frankly, I think that there's potential for a lot of runs. I think that we could see a huge kind of final score here, possibly like, not to be a crystal ball, but would not surprise me one bit to see a like a 9-4 game, 9-6 game here. That's just kind of where I'm at. I think the total is a little too low personally, and that's why I'm going to stay away. It just seems fishy to me, so cross that one off. The next game, the Twins and the Guardians. This is one where I'd love to bet the Twins again. Bailey O'Bear going against Logan Allen. I've been fading Logan Allen for quite some time, but unfortunately, it's been kind of a tough stretch where the Guardians seem to kind of surprise you, right? One of the better cover teams there is in baseball as well. But when we look at this, you look at some of the stuff going on with the guards. Stephen Kwan is on the IL. That's a big one. Okay. We look at some of the deeper numbers within Minnesota. They're missing a couple key guys. I do like taking the line within Logan Allen, taking the over his ERA, over 2.5 earned runs. I think that's a very favorable bet. That might make a same-game parlay card for me. I think that the Guardians get to him. I just can't handicap this game because, by all accounts, I want to take the Twins I want to take the Twins on the run line, to be honest, at a very plus price. But I just don't. I don't want to do it. It's kind of not jumping off the page, and the low total gives me some pause. So the Twins have been kind of in a free fall. They lost last night 3-2. But nonetheless, this is a game that I'm going to stay away, but I would lean towards taking Logan Allen over earned runs, and I do like the Twins on the run line. I think there's a ton of extreme value there with that play. Okay, the next game is the Athletics and the Royals. Okay, so this is one where we have Seth Lugo pitching for the Royals, arguably one of the greatest pitchers going right now. He's on a hot streak and 6-1 on the season, sub-2 ERA. Going against Ross Stripling, where basically you can flip his record around because he's 1-7 on the season. But he's not that bad. He's not that bad. I think the Royals get to him, and I think it's unfortunate because the Royals' bats have let him down in a couple of his outings. But we look at this. I'd love to bet this in a couple different ways, but the number just doesn't line up. So we are going to be attacking this from a price of Lugo under the 2.5 earned runs. Even money, minus 105. There gives a chance there could be an error out there. He doesn't get a charged earned run. So on and so forth. He throws a gem. He only goes 4 or 5 innings. Who knows? But I do like the likes of taking Seth Lugo within this bet under 2.5 earned runs, just at a more even price. So that would be my only play. Also, we're going to throw the Royals in that money line parlay of the day. Okay. Next game up is the Bryce Wilson, Justin Verlander game within the Brewers and the Stros. No play for me. For some reason, these two teams have been battling it out. I would kind of lean towards the over 8. That's just kind of my gut on this one. But I don't see any edge taking a minus 150 price with Verlander. And I'm not going to bet against the Brewers because they, quite frankly, should have won yesterday, in my opinion. They're a hot team right now, 26-18 on the season, and I look for them to bounce back. And so I just don't want to bet against Verlander. I don't want to bet against the Brewers, so I'm going to stay away from this game. It's too much of a coin flip, but there is some value. I think a lot of popular, mainstream money is flowing in on the Astros, so that's why I think you could get Brewers plus 136 at some value as well. All right, next game, Red Sox Cardinals. The Cardinals put up some runs yesterday. Kind of threw me off guard. I didn't play that game, but this is one where we look at Cutter Crawford and Miles Mikolas. This is something where you look at the Red Sox to bounce back. I love betting against Miles Mikolas. It's a proven strategy. But I don't trust the Red Sox bats right now, so I'm going to stay away from this game. And there's way better games on the card. But like I said, too, guys, this is a card that I do not favor in full transparency. So I'm giving you guys my best bets, but it took me a while to get there. Right? It took me a while to get there. This was not an easy game. Not an easy card to handicap. Okay. Next game is the Angels and the Rangers. Okay. Within this one, Jose Urena going against Patrick Sandoval. I definitely could see some runs in this game as well. We're seeing that total at 9. That's where I would have it if I was going to make this line. But no official play for me. I can't trust Texas's bats. They put up 7 one day, come back and lay a goose egg the next day. And the Angels, they are a sub 500 team for a reason. Okay, so two untrustworthy teams right now at the moment. Definitely would lean towards the Rangers at minus 130. That's a very strong kind of lean, but like I said, I don't trust the Rangers bats right now, even at home. So I'm going to stay away from this game. All right. Next game, the Tigers and the Diamondbacks. Okay, so within this matchup, we are going to be looking at more of a prop as well. Zach Gallen looking to bounce back. I know the Tigers got to the Diamondbacks pitcher yesterday. They put up 13 runs, I believe. It was an utter shellacking. And I look for Zach Gallen to kind of come out firing, piss and vinegar, and tear down the Tigers. We're going to be taking the Gallen under 2.5 earned runs. I know it's a pricey number. It's minus 160, so if you don't want to lay that, that's fine. You could cross that one off. Like I said, you don't have to force plays. I just think that Gallen goes pretty strong in this game and has a very good outing. So I'm back in the Diamondbacks pitcher in the prop market. Okay. And then 2 games left on the card. The one that we're going to get into mainly is the Dodgers-Reds. I think we have Walker Buehler going for the Dodgers, and that was one where we had a lot of good tickets last night, and the Dodgers just really dotted the I. Stuff that I didn't share with you guys, little cross-sport parlays, but which are always fun but never good to do. Unfortunately, the only thing that kept us back were the Braves and the couple other things with basketball and hockey, but could have been a very good night. And this is one where the Dodgers, we got some retribution with them. I really thought about laying that minus 200 price last night, kind of doing like a heavy money line bet. They weren't going to lose 3 straight games. I know that's possible. It's baseball. Anything can happen, but just kind of where I was within that handicap. And now we're seeing the same thing, minus 203 on the money line, best number out there. I don't like this game. For some reason, the Reds seem to be kind of putting up some numbers against the Dodgers. And if the Dodgers have a horrible hitting performance and the Reds can get up some early numbers against Walker Buehler, it could be a very, very long day. Lean towards the over 8.5, but no official play. Okay, and then the last game that really, it's not on oddsjam. I'm going to pull it up here for you guys, though. Actually, it is. This is one where we're going to look into. Actually, it's not on there, so I think it's the Braves-Padres game. I think we skipped over, but that's a no play for me as well. Truthfully, Yu Darvish, I'm not going to bet against them in the Braves right now. They're too hot and cold for me to back at this price. So there's a reason why it's basically a pick 'em. If anything, we know what happened. We bet the Padres for again, so that's one where I'm going to stay away. So wanted to share with you guys this complete rundown. Appreciate you guys. I know this was a little longer video, but on the weekends we do have a lot more games. So let's get into some other stuff. Make sure you guys are all subscribed down below. Get into the Discord, totally free. Links down below. It just says Discord right in the Discord description. All you got to do is click that. Takes you over to Discord, and it's free to join. Okay, but here is my official card that I'm going to be playing today. We are on the Yankees run line, minus 125. Gallen under 2.5 earned runs. Baltimore money line, the Lugo under 2.5 earned runs, as well as the parlay of the day that, like I said, I just throw out for you guys. I may or may not be betting this one. This is kind of what we're looking at within the Cubs, Yankees, Royals money lines, paying a plus 221 out there. So a little bit of value, 3-team money line. Let's see if we can get that done. I know there's some extreme odds, but that's something where for you guys that like to mess around with parlays, just want to throw it out that if I was going to bet one, that's what I would do. So appreciate you guys. Subscribe down below. Smash that like button. Let's try to get over 100, 200 likes in this video, and we'll see you guys all in the next video. Cheers, and good luck on your bets.